The Ticket's Bob Sturm is part of that station's wall-to-wall draft coverage starting tomorrow night. Bob joins us tonight. You've been writing about the potential Cowboys picks in the morning news as well. Cowboys at 28. You've pinpointed a group of pass rushers and defensive backs, one of whom I think you'd be happy landing with Dallas. Let's go through some specific names here and just give me one or two lines on each of them.
Yes, sir.
Tack McKinley, the defensive end from UCLA.
He's relentless, and he's one of those players that is strong enough to play the edge, but also fast enough to run down guys who get out into open space. So I really like him as maybe the best pass rusher that is in the Cowboys' range.
TJ Watt, defensive end from Wisconsin.
Relentless, a small sample size, and he also had some knee issues, but you want to talk about a guy who explodes at the snap and also looks like he has that bend to get around the corner and get the sacks. I like TJ Watt quite a bit.
Seems like the corner I'm hearing praised most often is the Washington kid, Kevin King. Why is that?
Well, he's big. He's 6'3". He also runs very fast. But in this division where they added Brandon Marshall and Elshon Jeffrey and Terrell Pryor, I mean, these are all 6'3", 6'4" wide receivers that weigh 230. You need a big corner to deal with them, and Kevin King can do that.
Tre'Davious White from LSU, another cornerback.
Yeah, a versatile guy, and maybe I'm a little higher on them than others because after the top corner from Ohio State, Lattimore, 2 through 10 is kind of beauty in the eye of the beholder, but I really like White as a guy who could be in that range that I think can do it all and also can return some punts.
And back to pass rushers, Tyus Bowser from Houston.
Bowser is a guy they're a little higher on than I am, but I admit he has all those athletic traits. Now at Houston, he did a little more coverage for an outside linebacker. The Cowboys would line him up at pass rusher and try to get home, but he has what many people are looking for in terms of traits.
Any way the Cowboys would take an offensive player at 28, do you think?
I think the only name that would make me think would be O.J. Howard, the tight end from Alabama. I don't think there's any chance he gets there, and I really think the Cowboys are committed to trying to find 2 to 3 difference makers on defense. And if you're putting 28 on offense again, boy, people are going to hit the roof, so you better make it work.
And it's really imperative for this team to get, as you say, 3 defensive players who can help them right away, given the state of that defense and the players they've lost.
Well, when you look at losing Carr, losing Claiborne, losing Barry Church, and losing J.J. Wilcox, you lost 2,700 snaps from your secondary alone. I know they added Nolan Carroll, and obviously they're going to figure it out, but you've got to add not only snaps, but quality snaps, and for that you probably need to go top 2 rounds. If they went defensive back in both the first and the second pick, Deuce, I think that's probably not that bad a plan. 3
players who went to high school around here expected to go possibly 1, 2, 3 in the first round on Thursday night. Myles Garrett, Arlington Martin, Solomon Thomas, Coppell, Jamal Adams of Hebron. That's a pretty big deal for local high school football.
Man, 1, 2, 3 from the same city. And Adams is a guy people don't talk about enough, but he is a fantastic safety. Some people say a bigger Earl Thomas. I'm not sure you can get Earl Thomas even bigger and be that special. But and then in terms of Garrett, you have the finished product. And in the case of Solomon Thomas, you have a guy who is just starting to figure it out, and they could put him at end, they could put him at tackle. He looks really special.
Bob Sturm of The Ticket. They'll be all over the draft starting on Thursday night. And Bob looking good in that clothing allowance suit from the Stars pre- and post-game duty as well.
Yeah.
Very, very dapper.
Well, thank you.
Like a man who belongs on TV.
Boy, you want to talk about a clothing allowance. It's truly massive.
All right, that's Bob Sturm. I'm Mike Doocy, Fox 4 Sports.